Hello, my name is Jajang Jaya. I am from Universitas Islam LAMONGAN and we are from lldikti VII. And I'm speaking as Prime Minister. So what happened in the status quo is first, people who are from Pakistan, Arab, Chinese coming from US and predominantly white country, for example US, UK, and so on and so forth, are not welcome in the US, right? So we think this problem is bad because we think in those white country, for example in US, there are still a lot of immigrant abuse, child abuse are still happening within those countries, right? So meaning that it's going to lead them into racism, right? We think that this is very bad. So that's why we believe that it is better for parents to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave, right? So what is the goal from that we want to achieve? Firstly, we want to maintain the stability of an ethnic, meaning that they can choose their peaceful life and not getting any discrimination and racism coming from the white country, right? So that is why we believe that white country is very bad to give any treatment to such as an ethnic. So what we are going to do, firstly, we are going to support this ethnic to live in their country, right? Meaning that they are going to live from predominantly white country, for example in UK, to live in ethnic area. For example, Chinese ethnic live in Chinese country, Japanese ethnic live in Indonesia, right? But second of all, we are going to educate parents and children that they are more secure when they are live in ethnic enclave. So that is why we are proud to propose. But let's talk about my first argument. Why is it justified? Firstly, let's talk about the idea of immigrant, right? Firstly, notice on how immigrants are still struggle to get a job and not accept well within the country. We believe that it's better for them to live in an ethnic enclave, right? So we believe that when immigrants are still getting bad treatment from white people, we believe that it is better for them to live in an ethnic enclave because we believe that when they are live in ethnic enclave, they will getting more treatment from within the ethnic enclave, right? So we also believe that population within the country, for example in US, for example in UK, are big, right? For example, immigrants from Pakistan coming to US are still spreading toward UK. We don't want any kind of discrimination and racism are still happening. So that is why it is better for them to stay in an ethnic enclave rather than stay in predominantly white country. But second of all, let's talk about the right of parents or interest of the parent, right? We believe that the nature of parents is to protect their children, right? Let's say things like child abuse are still happening in white country. Child do not get any treatment from people within the white country. For example, child within ethnic Chinese do not get any better treatment or still get discrimination in Indonesia. For example, child in Arab are still get discrimination in America. So we believe that it's gonna be lead to a children effect, right? We believe that it's going to be children cannot have any proper education or even not getting positive treatment from people who are live in that, right? So in terms of possibility, they are going to live like hell in wet country. So we believe that it's better for them to live in ethnic enclave because people in there are more willingly to support and encourage them to live peaceful together. But second argument, why is it going to be better for long-term children, right? So we think the ideal situation when children live and raise in ethnic enclave is, first of all, we believe that it's going to be get more better education. Let's say countries such as China who have so many impact into the world are more willingly to create a united nation, right? So we believe that better education are also coming from within ethnic enclave itself, right? Government are more willing to give free education. For example, education. What we mean is, for example, history in Indonesia are different from history from US, and also in terms of culture are different. Chinese culture are different compared to the Indonesia culture, right? But in terms of religion, it is also going to be good anyway, right? Because we believe that country, for example, Indonesia are still happening in terms of religion discrimination. For example, Islamic majority are more bigger rather than Chinese religion or even Christian and so on and so forth. But second of all, let's talk about the it going to be lead to discrimination and racism will not happening again, right? So we think that when children live in ethnic enclave, we think that it's going to lead to better treatment from society, right? Let's talk about the interest of society itself, right? We think that the society are more willingly to maintain a peaceful life, right? Meaning that there are no more violence again, right? For example, things ethnic in Rohingya who are genocide by country, meaning that if children live in ethnic enclave, they are more not willing to get any violence again, because we think that when violence not happening within the country, meaning that the ethnic is safe and not getting destroyed. For example, ethnic in Rohingya and so on and so forth, right? But second of all, we think that it's going to lead to powerful ethnic, right? For example, right now, let's take a look in the Chinese ethnic, for example, who are spreading toward the world, and let's say that Chinese is more bigger than US, right? We believe that ethnic are getting together, is going to be more give any strong and powerful ethnic. So that is why we are proud to propose this motion. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Najwa Khoirina. I'm from Universitas Islam Lamongan. As the Deputy of Prime Minister, we are from lldikti VII. We think that first-generation immigrant parent of color in a predominantly white country will choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave based on the concern of them about their children, which will forget of their own ethnic or their region. Or we know that mostly in this era, we think that the biggest problem in the world is ethnic equality. For example, in the America or another country, which predominantly is white country, they cannot accept the immigrant parent or their offspring in their country, or now we call as Black Lives Matter. In this era, there are so many reasons why immigrant parents will choose to live and raise children in an ethnic enclave which have high concentration of ethnic. And I will clearly define and give the explanation in my argument. First thing first, why they will to choose that? In ethnic enclave, which have racial or ethnic equality is also a goal. It will better for the first-generation immigrant parent of color in a predominantly white country to choose and live and raise their children in an ethnic enclave, because maybe they will more feel safe because of that, and the people in ethnic enclave will not die racism and so on, cause the same goal as their own ethnic or their original ethnic. The urgency of that motion is we want to reach the goal of the United Nations is give secure to all the people. So we think that immigrant parents and also their offspring have some privilege as same as the people in white country, for example. We think the logical fallacy is when the people from white country, for example, make them insecure or doing racism because they are not from same ethnic, which maybe have different skin color. The second layer is we know that they have different the immigrant parent and also their offspring underread as have different skill. For example, black people be seen as people who have different skill, not better as white people, and we know that this is racism also. The government which have ethnic enclave, for example, in Indonesia, there is Pecinan village for the offspring of Chinese must be fair to all of the people. Maybe the immigrant parent want to create a better life when doing immigration. We know that we are from same ingredient. We are from sperma from father and egg cell from mother. Our God create us to spread love and do not differentiate from one to another. If the government or the white people, for example, afraid or look down of black people, for example, which from different ethnic, the government can create the job to improve their skill and giving seminar to immigrant people, and we will reach the goal of fairness. And we want to create better world with spread the fair, deal the racism and all the discriminatory problem, and want that the black people or immigrant person feel safe and so on. As the government, we will let the parent to do as good as they want with urgency that they have privilege to apply the value of their ethnic, and as long as it will not causing the confusion in the nation and society, because as we know, for example, in Indonesia, which identic as Muslim country, and Chinese people which identic as Christianist ethnic, we cannot force them to follow our religion, right? The important thing is they have some ideology in the nation and want to secure the national together. And the important thing also is culture necessary. For example, Chinese ethnic doing Imlek, and the importance of Imlek is reach the national culture and doing religion equality to all people. Ethnic enclave is not security problem. It makes color that are good for the country. The government can take the people, can take the advantages from the people in ethnic enclave to reach their nationality goal, for example, the high taxes from them, but the government must wise to facing them so they will not doing bad things that harm to nation, like Chinese ethnic in Singapore, which can dominate their nation and the original ethnic in that country, or maybe like doing Christianization in Indonesia. And government must save them as long as they will not doing security problem. For example, in Indonesia, have Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which have ideology that we different but we have same goal. As long as they obey to our national law, it will not be a big problem for us, and we hope they will get better life when live and raise children in an ethnic enclave. And because of this reason, we are so proud to propose the motion.